My name is Katie Steller Schultz. I'm 25 years old. I'm a business owner. I'm a mom to 2 Great Danes. I'm a sister, a friend, a daughter, and a wife of almost 5 years. Looking at me, you probably wouldn't guess that I am diagnosed with ulcerative colitis. I was diagnosed when I was 11 years old. I had my colon removed when I was 18. I also have been diagnosed with sclerosing cholangitis, which is a condition in the liver, as well as arthritis. These are 3 autoimmune diseases, and they have impacted my life immensely. I am incredibly thankful that I have been able to receive the care and treatment that I need for these diseases. Looking at me, you probably wouldn't guess that I have a mental illness. I have been struggling for almost my entire life with an eating disorder, as well as depression and anxiety. These illnesses have affected me astronomically, and they have been incredibly difficult and detrimental to my life. This past April, I made the incredibly difficult decision that I needed help. And I have been at war with my insurance company ever since, and it has been incredibly damaging. Medica does not view my mental health the same way or with the same respect as they view my physical health. Mental illness isn't just contained in the mind. There are physical repercussions. And instead of waiting for things to get bad enough, I would prefer a preventative measure. I am making this video as a challenge. I want to challenge our society's stigma around mental illness. I want to challenge the lack of education there is about mental illness. I also want to challenge insurance companies, especially Medica, to change the way that they decide who and what gets covered, because that is detrimental and that is incredibly harmful to somebody with mental health if you do not take them seriously. When I decided that I needed to explore getting help for my eating disorder, I didn't even think I had an eating disorder. I thought because of my digestive issues and just things in my life, I had trouble eating. This was a huge part of the illness for me. Mental illness is secretive and mental illness is tricky. And mental illness oftentimes makes you feel like you are not sick or that you're out of control. I still question if I have an eating disorder, and that's my mental illness. So many people with mental illness doubt that they are sick, and a lot of it has to do with society's jokes, society's comments, eye rolls, just all around ignorance. People get so uncomfortable with just the term mental illness, and then that makes people who are struggling with it have a hard time being open and honest. When I did my intake at an incredible treatment center here in Minnesota that specializes in eating disorders, after multiple tests, they decided that they would recommend me for the intensive day program, which is a higher level of care. It's the level of care that is right below residential. I was shocked. I did not think I was that sick. I didn't think I needed that. And so I decided, and my eating disorder decided, that I would not go through with that recommendation. After about a month of therapy, I realized that my eating disorder was going to kill me, and I could not go on with my life the way that I was living it because I would not live it very long. I finally agreed to do intensive programming. Despite my fear, despite my doubts, I decided that I wasn't well, so I needed to trust the professionals in my life. And they were telling me that I needed treatment. 7 days after I agreed to do treatment, it took multiple conversations between my team and Medica to finally come to an agreement that I get to be in a higher level of care. Medica only approved me for 1 week at a time, which meant that it was really difficult for me to commit to getting better. It made me question that I was even sick, because if Medica didn't think I was sick enough, maybe I wasn't. Maybe I was wasting my time. Maybe I didn't need this. not having a concrete timeline of how long I'd be in treatment was a huge setback. After 2 weeks in intensive outpatient, my health was going down, my symptoms were going up, and my team approached Medica again and said she needs a higher level of care. And Medica could not ignore the evidence this time. And they approved me for 2 weeks in IDP, which is the intensive day program. After 14 days in IDP, I experienced one day that I was symptom-free and I had 100% meal compliance. That was all the evidence that Medica needed to say, you do not need this level of care. After that, I spiraled. My depression and anxiety crippled me. My health plummeted, and my team saw it. They saw that I needed help. They saw that I was sinking, and they saw that I was not going to end up in a good place if I didn't have more help. I am incredibly thankful for my team of therapists and dietitians and medical doctors and psychiatrists that rallied around me. They got their legal team involved and they put me in an appeal seat. And what that means is that I got 6 solid weeks of intensive day program. Medica still has not agreed to cover that. As of right now, it's October, and I'm still waiting for the level of care that I need. Not just what I think I need, but after multiple months of being in treatment and therapy, after multiple months of having to take time off, stop working, after multiple months of this taking over my life, they still are not convinced that I need help. The one thing I'm thankful for is I'm convinced that I need help now. As scary as it is, and as much as I hate to say it. Within those 6 weeks of IDP, I made incredible progress. But a lifetime of mental illness is not cured in 6 weeks. I may have some good days, but that does not mean that I'm better. I need to be seen as a person and not just somebody on a piece of paper. Going through this experience, I became curious if anybody else had been in situations like I've been in or any trouble getting insured for their mental health treatment. I put that question out to the Facebook world. The response I got was overwhelming. So many people have had similar experiences or are experiencing similar things right now. And that was a huge driving force in me making this video, because this is not just my voice, this isn't just my story. There are so many people that are not getting the insurance that they need and the help that they need. And mental health and mental illness is so costly. It costs people their lives all the time. It costs people their jobs. It costs people their families. It's not something to be held lightly. Not only did people have similar experiences, but 85% of the people that reached out to me were insured by Medica. This video is not meant to disrespect or slam anyone. This is to bring awareness that there are so many people suffering out there, and they don't need to be suffering as bad as they are. There are so many ways to help somebody with mental illness, and the fact that it is not covered by a lot of insurance companies, or people have to fight really hard, or it's too expensive for people to get the help that they need, it blows my mind. I truly believe that if mental health was respected the same way that physical health is respected, there would be less suicides, less abuse, less substance abuse, less shootings, less physical ailments. So instead of waiting for things to get really bad, there is so much that we could be doing to prevent it, and it starts with insurance companies and getting people the help that they need. Medica, I've seen your commercials, I've seen your billboards, I've seen your posters. and they all state that you are listening. I know that my voice is small, but I have a voice, and I'm going to use it. I'm going to stand up for what I need. I'm going to stand up for the needs of others, and I'm going to bring awareness to this issue, and I'm going to demand change. Look at my face and hear my voice. I am a real human being, and I suffer from mental illness, and I need help. Mental illness does not define me. It doesn't mean that I'm crazy. It means that I have an illness and I struggle and I need help. I need support. I need care. I need treatment. And being denied that, being not taken seriously, being not sick enough to deserve treatment is one of the most damaging things I've ever experienced. Mental illness kills people if they don't get help. And I would have been one of those people if I didn't have my team and my support people that I have right now. And there are lots of people out there that have mental illness that do not have that because of insurance. Medica, my final challenge to you is to do what your billboards say and listen. Listen to me, listen to this video, listen to the voices that are crying out for help. I challenge you to treat mental illness the same way that you treat physical illness. I challenge you to treat them equally and give them the same support because they both are equally important.